Hello, this is Neve with the Rainbow Cauldron, and this is your weekly reading for February 9th through 15th, 2014. And this week, I will be using the Ghosts and Spirits Tarot, and this is a pretty cool deck. It's a very dark kind of deck, and I don't really mean color, though some of the cards are dark in color. I mean more in theme. It's a very a dark themed sort of deck with lots of ghouls and ghosts and some evil spirits, things like that. There are some positive cards in here too, but a lot of them are very just uh, have a darker theme to them. Um, Maybe even scary, I guess you could say. And because of this, look at that card right there, Seven of Swords, very dark. Because of the very dark nature of this deck, some of them are very light and colorful and happier. I decided to go with a light blue, very calming sort of um, cloth here with some of these light colored um, green and tan flowers, just to lighten up the mood of this deck. Um, and For the daily readings, I'll be using the Druid Animal Oracle deck. A card from here will go in the center, and then 4 cards from the Ghosts and Spirits deck will go around it. And for the weekly reading, I will be using one of the cards from the Gita deck here. And the Gita deck it's not a divination card. Um, it's inspirational cards um, with um, verses from the Bhagavad Gita, and this card will basically just be an inspiration for the week. Okay, so starting off, let's move these decks here. And I am wearing a sweater today because it's a little bit chilly here, if you can believe it or not, in California. So it's been so hot in January, and finally in February it starts to get cold. So I'm a little bit chilly. So that's why I've got a sweater on. All right, so the first card is from the Gita deck, and it'll represent just something to think about for the week, a general feeling, idea, concept to really keep in the back of your head, that sort of concept. And this week we have the Secret of Secrets. Okay, and this is chapter 9, verse 2 of the Bhagavad Gita. And I'm going to bring it up here so you can see. And this says, "This knowledge is the king of education, the rarest of all secrets and the purest knowledge. Because it gives direct perception of the self by realization, it is the perfection of religion. It is eternal and joyfully performed." And that's from chapter 9, verse 2. And here is the picture for that. So Krishna with the Sita. Okay. So what I feel like this is saying is knowledge is being brought to you, knowing what those in charge know, because this is talking about kingly knowledge. So knowledge from someone above. Um, you're you'll be sort of bestowed with some knowledge or trust from a person in authority, um, someone who's above or in charge, someone who has a lot of power is bestowing some knowledge on you. And it kind of makes me think of that phrase, the truth will set you free, which really has to do with honesty. But with this, I feel like it's indicating doors being opened for you once you know the truth. But I also get a feeling that there's a sense that this knowledge is not for everyone just yet, and to stay respectful, respectfully silent for now. And that's the sort of energy I get from the secret of secrets. Knowing something that really only some higher ups know, but that'll open doors for you and it brings opportunities for you, but it's not necessarily knowledge for everyone yet. Okay, and the three cards for this week with the Docent Spirits tarot deck are the Hanged Man. Get a closer image of that. Okay. And the Wheel of Fortune. And finally, the Ten of Swords. Kind of makes me think of Gollum. All right. So, starting off with the Hanged Man. The mythology behind this is undead vampires. And they're sort of caught between the world of conscious thought and the realm of unconsciousness. And so it indicates a sort of crossroads or feeling stuck in a draining situation. And I say draining because they're vampires. So they go through and drain the blood out of humans. But they're undead vampires, and they're kind of caught between worlds and mindless. And I feel like this is talking about a situation where you're not progressing in the situation that you're in, and feeling, as I said earlier, as in a crossroads, kind of mindlessly going along, going with the flow, but wanting something better, and feeling a little bit stuck in the situation that you're in. And that's it, the feeling that I get from this, and also a feeling of being drained. So a draining situation where you kind of feel stuck there and you're wanting to move past it. And with the Wheel of Fortune, we got this here. These are Hindu hungry ghosts. And these are souls that are kind of condemned to wander the earth until their karma is worked out. They roam around with extreme hunger and thirst, and they have the full belly here show with them being extremely with extreme hunger and thirst, and but also having full belly shows that they're unable to fill a void. um, and Yes, I can. This is like I said, this is a very dark deck. So it's got a lot of darker imagery and themes here. So, but what I get from this is a sort of it talks a lot about karma. So I feel like it has a lot to do with um, having having to deal with the the consequences of your actions. Every action has a reaction, and it's kind of having to deal with the consequences of a choice that you've made. And I really feel the connection with the hanged man here, because the hanged man is kind of stuck and stagnant, whereas the Wheel of Fortune here has they're just kind of going with the flow. They have to deal with choices they've made, and they're just trying to work out their karma. They have to keep um, going over and over in this situation, and letting these situations work themselves out, and realizing that their actions are what has caused this. So it's a sort of letting things work out, and this is kind of a theme that I'm seeing here, is letting things work out. Here you're stuck, so you sort of have to let things work out. Here you're dealing with consequences of choices that you've made, so you're just going with the flow and dealing with the inevitable. And here with the Ten of Swords, we have another inevitable. Ten of Swords, I also always connect with the Death card in the Major Arcana. With this card, we have the Ten of Swords. The Arabic Ghoul is what this is. And the Arabic Ghoul is a ravenous jinn, which is where the term genie comes from, jinn, lurking in deserts, feeding on humans. Um, and these creatures, they sought victims who traveled through deserts. And they were adept shapeshifters, and there was really no place to hide from them. Um, and again, we have that dark imagery, that dark storyline. What I get from this is that really I was connecting with the traveling through the deserts part, traveling where there's really nothing of substance. The desert is really barren and with little opportunity, and that's where the Ten of Swords comes in. These Arabic ghouls. That's where they strike, where there's no place to hide, where there's nothing, and I sort of get this feeling, this connection with these other two cards, where uh, you're you're kind of stuck in a situation, stuck in a crossroads, dealing with consequences of choices. And here you're wanting to move on to something better. And with the Arabic ghouls, there's really nothing to be done. Being in um, a situation where there's no there's no out, but an ending. The ending is imminent, and nothing can be done about that. But new and better experiences are on the horizon. There's in the story of this, there's spirits on the horizon of the desert, and they're trying to guide you out of this situation. So really, all you have to do is you have to just keep trudging through that desert, and know that eventually it will end, and there will be positive things on the horizon. So it's a sort of dark week, and that may be reflected in the fact that these are dark cards, um, in and of themselves, not just the cards themselves, because this card in any deck is kind of a I don't want to say negative, but a a an ending, and sometimes those endings can seem like negatives, but in this situation it's actually kind of a positive, because we've been stuck in a situation. We're dealing with the consequences of our choices, and having to just go with the flow with that, and just trudge through. And but we know that there's something on the horizon. There's going to be an ending to that, and there will be um, positive energy at the end. Okay, so that's what we're getting this week. and I will start working on the daily readings. Thank you so much for watching, and blessed be.